Welcome back, you degenerates, to the #1 gambling podcast show in the world. I'm Billy FFD, and I'm here with my good friend, my sad friend, my I need a friend, Mr. Morgan Watkins. How you holding up tonight, Mr. Mo Watts?
Terrific. Never been better. Loving life. Thriving.
The pain in his eyes.
I don't know what eyes you're talking about.
He's hiding them. He's fighting the tears at the moment.
There's nothing left in my eyes. Just pain, death, misery.
Black holes. If it does make you feel better, the Davis Mills bet will hit. So you will have some money in the account.
I went 1-5 tonight.
Listen, when you're cold, you're cold. When you're hot, you're hot. I'm hot. You're not. It is what it is.
Worst. You suck. I hate you.
I don't suck. We had this conversation last night. Let's get into it then. Let's get into it real quick. You said I like everything Christian McCaffrey tomorrow. I said I don't know. Strange feeling. I was just like, nah, I don't like it. Over 100 yards rushing, over 60 yards receiving. I'm like, nah, I just don't like anything. Don't touch it. Didn't listen to me. After the show, just like that, we just spitballing ideas about what games you like for college football this weekend. Mr. Morgan Watkins goes, big Marshall guy. Love Marshall. Love betting on the herd. It's like, cool. Me too. I did a little research. I liked Marshall. I took Marshall. I come back from the gym. You know what I see? Mr. Mo Watson, Appalachian State, and the under. I'm like, what happened? Like, you're fading yourself? Is that what you're doing? Doesn't make sense to me, Morgan. You have an explanation?
No. What do you want from me? Christian McCaffrey picks make sense. They all made sense. My rationale behind them was solid. The Texans suck against running backs out of the backfield and everything. I can't account for the guy having rubber band legs. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Like, it's unbelievable. This dude sucks. I'm out on Christian McCaffrey. 100% out. He stinks now. The only good thing about Christian McCaffrey is that he's dating Olivia Culpo. That's it. That's all that I care about now when it comes to him.
That's a bold statement.
With Marshall, what do you want me to do? I overthought it. I overthink it. I'm cold as ice. I'm thinking, okay, yeah, maybe I should just fade whatever my thoughts are in the top of my head right now because clearly something's not working. And lo and behold, I get everything wrong. When I would have had it right the first time.
Well, we talked about that when I went on my cold streak in the very beginning of the year. I was like,
you mean the cold streak you transferred over to me?
That's not true. It's not true.
It's 100% true. I will go to my grave with that.
But what I said was, anytime that happens, I wind up fading myself, and it's never a good idea. So you shouldn't do it. You should stick to your gut and work your way through it, right? You didn't even listen to my advice. It happened to me 2 weeks ago. I did the same thing you did. I thought you'd be learning from my experiences, but I guess not. We're talking college football tonight, Mr. Morgan. We're gonna have a better weekend.
My specialty is college football, and I'm down astronomically bad.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know if gambling is your specialty at this point.
I think I should start learning how to knit because I can save up the money that I'm losing right now and buy yarn.
With that coif haircut, you might be able to, Mr. Morgan.
Hey, don't hate on my hair.
I told you I like the hair. It looks good.
I'm sensitive tonight.
I don't want to have to do it too, Morgan, but I just give the listeners / viewers a little update on the records. I am 30, 23, and 1. What? I'm 30, 23, and 1. And Morgan is 24, 27, and 1. Had two bets tonight, both lost. I had one bet tonight that won. But I'm telling you, Morgan, you're going to get out of the rut. Everything's going to be fine. I tried to tell you to hop on this teaser with me.
Got laid out across the middle by Sean Taylor there with the records. Was not ready for that.
Yeah. Terry Tate off his linebacker style.
Yeah, I just got sent out the third floor window.
That's right, Morgan, because we are on opposite sides for the first game that we're going to talk about. Why don't you kick us off?
Right. If there's one pick anybody's going to take with me, this is the one. I'm right on this one, not him. I know I'm right on this one.
Okay.
I'm on Michigan laying 20.5 against Rutgers, a 3:30 p.m. game at Michigan. Michigan is the far superior team to Rutgers. Rutgers is 3-0 for the first time since 2012. Their wins are against Temple, Syracuse, and Delaware. Shit teams, shit schools. I know. I went to Temple. Crummy teams. They have no talent whatsoever. Michigan is 3-0. Yes, they have not played the top tier teams. This is the first conference game for them so far this season. However, Michigan has elite talent compared to Rutgers does. Right now, Michigan is averaging 514.7 yards per game, also averaging 47 points per game. Best thing going for Michigan that they can use and that will control this entire game, which will not give Rutgers the time of possession that they sorely need, is Michigan's running attack, which is number one in the country, averaging 350.3 rushing yards per game. That's over 8 yards per carry. That can control the tempo of this game. Rutgers is a team that is built on creating turnovers, mostly fumbles, where they've created 6. Fumbles are a purely luck turnover that you force right there. And the fact that they've recovered all 6 of the fumbles that they have forced is a pure luck statistic. There is nothing crazy about that. You cannot bank on a fumble to happen. Defensive side for Rutgers, they are going to most likely be without 2 of their big name quarterbacks, Chris Long and Max Melton, both who were charged with assault this past week. That's never good. We're not big fans of assault on this show, are we, William?
I am. When it comes to defensive players, yeah, a little bit. That's assault, brother.
I'm just going to let that one simmer out there a little bit. Michigan's defense so far this season is allowing 11.3 points per game through 3 games. So Rutgers is not going to be able to move the ball, as well as the last 6 times that these two teams have met up. In the last 7 years, they lost. Their last matchup was Lloyd Carr was the head coach still at Michigan. 6 straight meetings with Jim Harbaugh as the head coach. Michigan has outscored Rutgers and won all 6 meetings by a score of 304-79. Michigan minus 20.5.
You know why the number is a little skewed for Michigan? Because they played Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois shouldn't be a football team, just like Temple.
They played Washington with a pretty good defense.
Washington had his top tier defense. They are, but that offense that Washington has is absolute trash. I watched the whole game. I had money on Washington. Western Michigan, a team that I'll be betting on. We'll talk about it later. Not a great team compared to Big Ten school, but if you let Northern Illinois score 10 points against you, I don't know. If you're giving me 3 touchdowns in a conference game, I'm going to take the dog every time. Michigan's look pretty good, but the first conference game of the year in the Big Ten, Rutgers top 3 in the nation in turnover margin. They haven't given the ball up once. Doesn't matter who you play. Every quarterback in college will throw an interception or somebody will fumble the ball. They don't. They take care of the football. That's what they've always done. But like you said, they haven't played anybody, you know? But to go out on a limb and say that Syracuse is absolute trash, I wouldn't do that. Michigan is a power run offense. They will run the ball down your throat. Rutgers, their strong suit is their front 7. They love to get in the backfield, get in early. Top 10 in tackles for loss this year. They're not going to be able to break the play open. I love it. Game's going to be slow paced. So if game's going to be slower paced, I'm gonna take Rutgers with. Give me the 21. Couple stats for you because Morgan's got the total of points. Scarlet Knights 6-0 against the spread in the last 6 road games. 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 as road dogs. 6-1 in their last 7 against the spread versus teams with a winning record. Wolverines 0-4 in the last 4 against a team with a winning record. 0-5 in the last 5 conference games against the spread. One thing that neither one of us were on, I talked about it. It might become a play later. I do a little bit more research on it. The over is 7-0 in the last 7 meetings between these 2 teams. That's something to look out for. How do you feel about the over?
I like the over. So, like I said earlier,
I'm on the
Michigan putting up. I hate you. You're the worst person in the
Hook, line,
world.
and sinker, boys and girls. That was too easy. No, I do lean the over as well. What do you have next, Morgan? He's so sad.
I want to kill you. I want to kill you so bad. Next one. This is a game I flip flopped on a couple times. LSU laying 2.5 against Mississippi State. It's tough. And I know when I spoke the other night, I was thinking Mississippi State money line. The more and more I have thought about it, I'm going to lean LSU with the superior talent. And there's one real favor that LSU has that I think will really turn the tide of this game. But it's kind of the tail of the tape. LSU is averaging 36.7 points per game right now, and they're putting up just under 390 yards per game at 389.3 yards per game of offense. Max Johnson has actually looked really good as quarterback. He's got 11 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He's looked very well out there. He's over 1,100 yards passing already, which has been great. The thing that's going to really decide this game, this is going to be a high scoring game, plain and simple. This game, I don't know off the top of my head what the total is, but I like the over in this game for sure because these two teams cannot run the ball to save their life. LSU is the 120th ranked team in the nation in rushing offense. Mississippi State is 125th in the nation. If they decide that they want to try to run it, that's awesome. Both of them have top 25 rush defenses. So this is going to be an air raid attack. And why I like LSU in this game is because LSU has 2 All-American, All-SEC caliber corners led by Derek Stingley, who's going to be a top 5 draft pick in this upcoming draft this year. That is going to be more than enough to shut down the Mississippi State air attack, which is an air raid attack, which is averaging 58.7 pass attempts per game. I love my chances when they're throwing against such a talented secondary U, if you'd like to call it that, because they just put so many elite players into the NFL out of that LSU secondary. Another thing that I absolutely love about this game, this is a revenge game for LSU. LSU was embarrassed last season by Mississippi State. They allowed an SEC record 623 passing yards in a home loss last year to Mississippi State. I love the revenge factor here. LSU going into Mississippi State, into Starkville, winning this game, at least by the 3, if not more.
Yeah, we talked about it, and we both at first glance were like, oh, Mississippi State. I went back to some research. The game is a little bit too close for me, personally. I do like the revenge factor thing. I think that could be a contributing factor. But the secondary hasn't really looked good. So I'm laying off, I think. If anything, I'll ride with you privately, but I won't make it a public bet. I don't want to catch too much juju. No, I don't. I don't know how I feel about that game. I'm just staying off. I'm indifferent.
It's one of the games I'm probably most excited for. When I'm at this wedding Saturday, that's the game I will be streaming on my phone to table most likely. It'll be a very fun game to watch. There's going to be some fireworks. Mississippi State's a fun team to watch. I hate Mississippi State because they fucked up my NC State pick a week or two ago. But I also do like Mississippi State. They are a fun team to watch. I like watching Mike Leach offenses. Like they're just throwing the ball all over the place. Big fan. So.
Yeah. Next up, one of my favorite bets is going to be UTSA versus Memphis. Just that game in itself, I'm going to have my eyes glued to it. And I'm going to be on the under 67 as well as UTSA +3. I'm a little late to the party. It opened up at 4. I didn't get it at 4. I just bet it today at 3. If it's less than 3, it's 2.5. I'd leave it alone and just take the under by itself. In college football, for me, unders are somewhat of a rare occurrence that I'm going to bet on. It seems like these games go on forever. Like, how long were we just sitting in this call watching the end of this Marshall game? It felt like an hour. It took forever. With that being said, the number's still too big for me to pass up. The trends back it up, in my opinion. The public thinks otherwise because they're betting the over. They're slamming the over. So something I kind of like to see. The under is 7-2 in the Roadrunners, which is UTSA for those of you ignorant swines out there. The last 12 games, under is 5-1 in the Roadrunners' last 7 games as an underdog, and the under is 6-1 in Tigers. That's Memphis. Again, you ignorant swines. In the last 7 games overall. As far as the +3, I'd even probably sprinkle money line, to be honest with you. I think it's a letdown spot for Memphis, who won that game, who had no business winning that game. We loved that they did because me and you were both on Memphis, but they had no business winning that game. That guy's knee was down by 1.5 miles on that punt. Like, you can't make it up. But first, I don't know how they didn't call that. They didn't figure it out. But
the fact that it went to replay also, and they still didn't call it.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was probably the worst officiated game ever. But either way, they won. They're high off that win, and UTSA is a tough team to beat. They're 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games, and 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 as road dogs. So give me the Roadrunners.
I love that pick. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Roadrunner. Give me that all day. I love a good Roadrunner. My favorite part about that pick, and maybe this will make you change it now, but I love it. And Memphis is going to be a letdown game for Memphis. After that emotional game last week against Mississippi State, this is set up for a letdown right here, big time. Roadrunners aren't that bad of a team, and getting a field goal, like I won't even touch the field goal. I'm going money line all day on this game. Like, I think this is a win for them, big time.
Yeah, like if you're afraid of getting the 2.5, just take the money line. Yeah. Like if it's 2.5 or less, I'm taking money line. But at the +3, I'll be safe to take the field goal. Personally, privately, I'd be sprinkling. I'm on Jets money line this weekend, so do what you want with that information. Psycho. Yeah, I was psycho. What do you want from me? What do you got next?
I respect it. All right, next one up, and I have an abbreviated card this evening. We're doing some deep diving, so I got 2 more plays tonight, but we're trying to right the ship. So next one, we're gonna have Oregon laying 28.5 versus Arizona. Arizona is the worst team in college football. They suck. They're embarrassing. I think Arizona might be worse than you. Arizona was a 26.5 point favorite to FCS Northern Arizona and lost 21-19. UConn couldn't even pull that one off. They're coming off this. They are awful. They were set at the beginning of the year at 1.5 wins was their total. They might not win a game the entire season. They're just so bad. Kevin Sumlin is an awful coach. The fact that he got away with shit at Texas A&M to make himself look good for a little while, he stinks. He is awful. He's the guy that the Marshall coach made me think of, as like I said a little bit earlier and everything. But Marshall coach could do significantly better down at Arizona than Kevin Sumlin could. Arizona's biggest weakness that they have is they suck at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. They cannot protect. They have 3 quarterbacks. They don't even know who their starting quarterback is. They have 3 guys that they're rotating in there, which you can't have any offensive consistency. Your offensive line does not know who they're protecting. If it's a guy who's more of a scrambler, if it's a guy who's a statue back there in the pocket, they're not prepared for that at all. Kayvon Thibodeau might be coming back this week. You're telling me you're going to get an All-American, most likely the number 1 overall pick in the draft back to this defense. That the defensive line was already pretty darn good. Their defense is pretty darn good already without him out there. You're going to get him back out there. If Thibodeau's back out there, Thibodeau at 85% is putting up 3 sacks against this offensive line. Speaking of at the line of scrimmage, Oregon is 28th in the nation in rushing offense, averaging 209.3 yards per game, which leads them to 38 points per game that they've put up on average at this point. Conversely, on the other side of the ball, Arizona is 120th in the nation in scoring offense, only averaging 16.3 points per game. Arizona can't move the ball. They can't score. They cannot go against the talent that Oregon has. Oregon is going to be able to move the ball at will on this defense. A few trends that these 2 teams have had. Oregon is 5-1 in their against the spread in their last 6 games following a straight-up win of 20 points or more. They're also 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 following an against the spread loss. And then Arizona, those shitty Wildcats, is 1-12 against the spread in their last 13 games following a straight up loss, and 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 just in a after and against the spread loss. Oregon 28.5, take it to the bank.
I like that. I like Oregon in this one. I didn't add it to my official card for the for the show, but it's going to be on my card. Kind of hoping we lose the hook, but it is what it is. I'm confident they win by like 35, 40. Really not worried about it. My next bet is going to be UCLA minus 4.5 against Stanford. It's a strange game. The teams match up pretty evenly, but I think it's a bounce back game for the Visor, for the Bruins. It's not UCLA's fault that Jack Hayner played on a god tier level last weekend. You cannot beat a guy like that his mind is set on scoring touchdowns in those last two drives with a lacerated kidney. You're gonna lose. That's just how that's gonna go. When you have a true warrior like that on the field, you're doomed. Like, you saw it in Chip Kelly's face. He's like, "Oh no, I'm fucked."
I hate you so much,
dude. It's content. You gotta do the content.
That's
it's
all
part
right.
of the game.
I like my reply, so it's okay.
Yeah. I do think that UCLA handles Stanford in a bounce back game. Stanford has Oregon next week. It could be a sneaky little look ahead game where, UCLA coming off the loss. It can go either way. It could be a bounce back game. It could be a look ahead game. It could be a sandwich game. There's a lot of things going on here, but I'm leaning towards UCLA. Better coaching, better players. The strong suit for UCLA has been the run game, and Stanford's been giving up about 60 yards per rush. Good thing. UCLA's running back, Zach Charbonnet. Is that how you say his name? Charbonnet? Charbonnet. He's averaging almost 11 yards per carry, and he has 6 touchdowns on the season already. I think he breaks out a few big runs. You add in that Thompson Robinson, the quarterback, dual threat. Give me the points. I think UCLA wins by the touchdown.
I agree with you. Ironically enough, my next play is also in the UCLA Stanford game. I will more than likely, I will probably be on that UCLA spread also. I do like that a lot. Like I said, leading perfectly into my pick, UCLA Stanford over 58.5. I think this will be a high-scoring game. The over has hit in 7 of the last 10 games between these two teams, and Stanford has hit the over in 10 of their last 15 games just themselves. UCLA is coming off a bad loss to Fresno State, and their defense gave up 40 points and 569 yards of total offense. For their offense, they still put up 37 points and got themselves just under 400 yards of offense with 395. What we said, UCLA, Chip Kelly is a running guy. He is a run-the-ball kind of guy. Charbonnet is going to put up numbers kind of like you were saying. Stanford is giving up 210.7 rushing yards per game through 3 games so far this season. That's one of the worst numbers in the country right now. And UCLA is in the top 10 rushing attacks in the country. They're going to pound the rock. They're going to find a way to gash this defensive throw there. But UCLA's defense does have its fair share of holes in it right now. They're giving up 25.7 points per game, 419 yards per game as well. Big key in why I love this number here and why I love this 58.5. Stanford made a quarterback change week 1. They went from Jack West to sophomore Tanner McKee, who was a 4-star recruit, one of their better recruits they've had in a while, especially at the quarterback position, since Andrew Luck. With Tanner McKee under center, Stanford is averaging 40.1 points per game. Whereas with Jack West, they only got into the end zone one time in that first half of that game before McKee took over. McKee is a very good quarterback. He looks phenomenal. He's completing 71% of his passes right now. He has actually already overtaken Dorian Thompson. I don't know what is his last. There's a third name in there.
Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Robinson. He's already overtaken him
That's why I only put the two. I only put the two last names because it's too much.
I just have Dorian. So he's already overtaken him as the passing leader in the Pac-12 right now with pretty much a half a game less than Thompson Robinson has played. I love where this is going to head to. UCLA, like I said, is averaging 39.7 points a game, allowing 25.7. Stanford's averaging 30 itself with West and McKee under center and giving up 25. This is going to be a big game. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Both of these two teams are going to put up over 30 points apiece. We're looking at like a 38 to 35, 38 to 34 kind of game, I think, here. Maybe 41 to 35 kind of game.
Yep. No, I like that as well. That was the original play I had, and I was like, I got too many totals. I need to switch.
That is my favorite play of the week right now.
Uh,
That the UCLA Stanford over. That is my number one.
I don't know if I like that anymore.
Play.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Like I said, the reason why I didn't put it on because I had too many totals already. This game, quite strange. Utah State versus BYU. These are West Coast teams. They're playing 8 hours earlier than they normally do.
They're not
It's
just West Coast teams. They're whack
big
teams.
whacks.
We're
So
whack.
this is a 10 a.m. local time kickoff. What?
That's yeah.
What?
That's just insane.
I'll just be waking up. I
Yeah.
wake up on Saturdays like right before the game starts. Like I post my card, make a cup of coffee, and the games are on. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. These two teams can be sleepwalking. I love the under for both full game, and I really love it for the first half. Really love it for the first half. The under is set at 70. This is a game change. They changed it from 12 p.m. local time to 10 a.m. I don't know why. I don't care.
You know those Mormons know how to party too.
But when
They're gonna
they
be out.
changed it, the total went up 7 points. What? They're still going to be sleeping. Am I like overthinking this? Am I
I don't think so at all. I think
like
you are 100% on the right side of this. Like,
if
it makes no sense.
say the defense is still sleeping, they're going to be grabbing, they're going to be holding, they're going to be pass interference left and right, targeting, being lazy. You know, see more drop passes than usual, more penalties than usual. It could be a real sloppy game. I'm taking a shot in the dark. I didn't even do any research about the two teams. I know BYU can score. Utah State, they like to run the ball a little bit, but at 70 points at 10 in the morning, give me this. Give me the under. Give me the under.
Yeah, I love that pick. It makes way too much sense. And like you just said, I haven't done much research into it either. But that's an unbelievable line. Like it makes no sense. I don't know. There's got to be something that I'm missing somewhere. Like I said, I haven't done much digging into it yet. I will dig some more into it tomorrow for sure. And once I'll get feedback, I'll provide it to you and let you know what I find out. But it makes no sense. Like that's way too high of a number for a game to start that early out there.
Yeah. Like I was just scrolling through covers. It's just like kind of like an easier way to get through. Is I can look at trends all at the same time. Covers.com, they're a great platform for all the trends and whatnot. Check them out. I know usually no free ads, but they're great. They help us out a lot. So we shout them out. And I saw like it was at 63.5, and then it was at 70. I'm like, wait, what? Doesn't make any sense. Morgan, you have another bet, or is that it for you for tonight?
I don't have any more definites
Okay.
at this point. I have some leans. Like Florida, 18.5 is definitely a lean. They put up big numbers and made that game against Alabama very close. They're playing Tennessee, who Joe Milton is very banged up right now. We don't know if he's going to play. I love Tennessee. Anyone who knows me knows Tennessee is my college team. I love Tennessee won last week. I sent Billy the snap. We got a little Rocky Top action coming on. I love to play some Rocky Top when we win. I'm a big Vols guy, but Tennessee is in transition mode right now. Florida with Emory Jones and Anthony Richardson, they have two nice quarterbacks. They can get some things done. Like I said, they moved the ball pretty well against Alabama, especially in the second half. They really fucked me in the second half of that game. So I do really like the 18.5 for Florida. I think Florida can really win that game kind of convincingly. And it's being played in Gainesville. So that's always a plus when you come down to the swamp.
I don't hate that either.
Yeah,
I have one more. I have one more play. If you
yeah, go ahead because I'm looking at leans right now. So go by all means, go for it.
I'll be on Western Michigan -2.5 against San Jose State. This may be one of my favorite bets. I stayed up till 5 a.m. watched every snap of the Hawaii San Jose State game last weekend. Was I tired? Absolutely. Very, extremely. But not as tired as San Jose State will be after flying back and forth to Hawaii, playing an earlier game. I think it's a 3 o'clock Eastern time game, so it's probably 12 o'clock because they're playing at home. Starkel, He's been good at times. He's got a lot of weapons around him. The quarterback from San Jose State, but the problem is his weapons are very athletic, very strong, very big, but they're not very good at catching a football. He's only completed 51% of passes. What the hell?
I get my laptop got caught on my hairband.
I was about to say you dropping passes just like the Spartans drop passes last week. I've never watched a game where so many drop balls have ever happened than watching San Jose State last week. They must have dropped 15, 16 balls, and half of them, there was nobody within 10 feet of them. Western Michigan, on the other hand, they put up 44 points and beat Pitt. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago? That was 2 weeks ago? I believe that was 2 weeks ago.
No, it was 2 weeks ago. Was against Tennessee.
Okay, so it was last week.
Yeah.
Now,
Tennessee
this could be a letdown spot for Western Michigan, but I just flat out think that they're much better than the Spartans are. Ellerbe, the quarterback for Western Michigan, much better. Broncos have a great run game, keep defensive honest. They're going to take some deep shots. San Jose State has been a good defense. They haven't played anybody. They're only allowing 19.3 points per game, but they just played Hawaii, and we know how bad Hawaii can be. And I was on Hawaii's side, and they couldn't even cover against Hawaii. They were in a last second sweat with Hawaii in the middle of the night. Just a trend. Western Michigan is 8-3-1 the last 11 games against the spread at home. And yes, this game is in Michigan. It's not in San Jose. I thought it was in San Jose. I wrote it backwards. And they are 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 games as a favorite. Love it. Give it to me. Put it in my veins. Western Michigan -2.5.
Do you like that? I just want to throw out a little disclaimer here. I realized that I made the Mormon joke for Boise State and everything, and for whatever reason, I thought you were talking about BYU. I had a nice little brain fart there in my head. So just want to throw it out there. When you're cold, your brain is cold too, and your jokes don't hit like you kind of thought they would. So, yeah, everyone can make fun of me for that one. That was bad. That was bad right there. So, as I'm kind of looking through, there's a couple of leans that I like. We talked about this last time. I think we talked about it off air and not when we were recording the NFL show.
I will say that's my fault. That's my fault. I said BYU by accident.
Okay, all right. So I'm not completely crazy.
I was like, wait, did I say? I had to scroll back over.
Because I was scrolling through it and I'm like, BYU is playing South Florida. Like why? It's definitely
because I was looking at BYU State. South Florida. I like BYU.
Okay, so I'm not completely crazy.
No, it's my fault.
All right, thank goodness. I think I don't know if I know we talked about this definitely off air. I don't know if we mentioned it at all during the show. I did like Missouri laying 1.5 to Boston College. That is a very strange number to me. I don't get that one yet. Again, that's another one I will do some digging into tomorrow before I post the official 6-pack on FFD, or Billy posts the official 6-pack for me on FFD as my editor. Or if it hits the card or anything. That game doesn't make sense. I don't understand how Missouri is only a 1.5 point favorite against an ACC team, especially Boston College. That's wild.
They're just bad at all sports.
Exactly. Yeah. Unless it's college hockey, it doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to do some digging there. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's something. Maybe Missouri's quarterback got hurt. I don't know. I'll have to dig into that one and find out. I do have one lean that I actually really, really like, and I'm just scrolling to find the second number because I was just looking at it and scroll back up. But it's going to be Bowling Green versus Minnesota. No,
Minnesota's 31.5 right now.
It's 31.5. I like Bowling Green getting the points in that game. Minnesota is not the same team since I can't remember his name for the life of me, but that running back popped his Achilles week 1 against Ohio State. Ibrahim, yeah, they're not the same team. They're getting a lot of points against one of my Maction teams. I think Bowling Green definitely can cover this game. Bowling Green is actually a pretty decent team in the MAC. They are usually in that second tier underneath Toledo and Akron and Miami of Ohio. So I do think that they can cover this game for sure. Toledo is a 5-point favorite against Ball State. Love it. Always ride with my Rockets. We ride the Rockets to the fucking moon always. But I'm sure there's more games I will like. So we'll see. We'll see how much I have the cojones to play. Again, I don't want to. go overboard.
Yeah, I mean, a couple leans that I have is Arkansas plus 5.5. I just think that they're a better team against Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M is a bunch of frauds. Buffalo minus 13.5.
Statement right there.
What?
That's a bold statement right there.
I said what I said.
Texas A&M opened the season, I think, ranked number 5.
Yeah, and guess what? They're still at number 5.
That's a bold statement.
Just saying, there's teams out there who aren't as good as they think they are. You know, for example, Ohio State, not as good as they thought they were. Another lean I have, Buffalo minus 13.5. They've done me dirty so far. It's one of my favorite teams to bet on. Maxion never hurt anybody, as Morgan always says. And Michigan State minus 5. You can get that at minus 105 or even money on another site that I have. This was just leans. I didn't dig enough into it yet, so I don't know. That's all I got for today. We're catching our stride though, Mr. Mo Watts. We are sliding through these episodes. We are looking like an official show now. No hour and a half.
I can't be goofy when I'm getting bludgeoned every 5 seconds. It's just bad beat after bad beat and just bad play after bad play. So
I will say that in the NFL, that kid sliding in the App State game, that happens all the time. In college, normally they score.
Yeah,
normally they score.
When we were
that's a kid who wants to go to the NFL.
Yeah, when we were talking about that, and I was like, they're going to score a touchdown. Like they're going to keep moving. I wholeheartedly was sitting there thinking, college kids are not going to sit down with the ball. They are going to put the ball in the end zone.
I want to know who that is. I don't know if that's
kudos to that guy. Kudos to that running back. I respect that move a ton. I like that. That's a smart player right there.
That's an NFL player right there.
Yeah, absolutely fucked me. I don't love that part of it. I want no part of it. We're on the Eagles. I will hate your guts. But I respect the smart football play. I'm going to send you a bill later this week for the bet I just lost because of you.
Yeah, well, you can't win them all, Mr. Mo Watts, but I'm very confident you will bounce back. Where can we find you? What are you up to? What are we doing? Let's close this.
If you want to watch me subtweet myself and just lose my shit consistently, you can find me at MoWatch26. I have now placed a cease and desist order against Mr. Billy FFD for a true assault against me. This guy, big assault guy here, laying the boom on me in the middle of the field. You can find me there. You can find us at Betting Diagonal. You can find my articles that I am having Billy post for me at Fantasy Football Podcast. Jesus Christ, I'm losing.
He's so sad. So sad.
Fantasy Football Degenerates Podcast, FFD Podcast. You can find them on there. The NFL article might be up. I'm not. That's a
no. It'll be up after the show. I was kind of trying to just put them both up at the same time.
College football article I will have finished tomorrow. I'm not going to finish this evening because I do want to get 6 plays up there, and I only have 4 currently that I'm definitely getting into. I also need to win a bet because I need some money to gamble on. So I got to find something little tomorrow that I can wager on. I do like Wake Forest plus 3.5 tomorrow. Just a little something I might get involved with. I might parlay a Wake Forest plus 3.5 and a Liberty minus 6.5.
I'll most likely be on Fresno tomorrow, so.
Yeah, it's not too bad either. But that's where you can find me. William, where can I find you?
You can find me at Winning Lane. You can find me at BillyFFD on Twitter. You can find me at Betting Diagonal, where I'll be posting all the winning plays. You can find me at FFD_podcast on Twitter. Like, follow, subscribe, guys.
I do want to say a special shout out to our boy Jiminy in Billy's background right now. He is our number one follower right now. He shows up for every single show. He's there with us for the live recording. Jiminy, you're the fucking man. You are the mascot of this show.
Yeah, I try to get this done early as possible, but Morgan is dead set on watching the Phillies just dramatically not get into the playoffs in the most dramatic fashion possible.
We're down 6-0 after 3 innings, 12-6 win. That's 3 games this season. They've come back from a 7-run deficit and won. These are the cardiac cats, baby.
Stop it.
Braves lost tonight. We're only 2 back in the division with 10 to go.
Stop. Baseball stinks. Otherwise, you bet on it.
Absolutely love it. I suppose they'll break my heart, but I'll deal with that in 11 days.
Yeah, like I said, like, follow, subscribe, Benny Diagonal, FFD, Mo Watts 26, Billy FFD, Gersh Greg. I tweeted at him tonight, didn't listen. We will see you guys next week. Good luck gambling.